Good morning, students. This is your English class, class 11, and this is lesson number 2 from your book Hornbill. The lesson's name is We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together. It is written by Gordon Cook and Ellen East. This is part 5 of the video, and in this video we are going to take up the bifurcation of marks for exams and question answers. Let's understand the bifurcation of marks first. Type 1, short answer type questions. The word limit for short answer type questions is 30 to 40 words, and each question is for 2 marks. 1 mark is for content and 1 mark is for expression. The second type of questions are long answer type questions. These answer type questions are for 6 marks each, and the word limit is 120 to 150 words. 3 marks are for content and 3 marks are for expressions. Let's discuss the textbook questions now. Question 1. List the steps taken by the captain. Part 1. To protect the ship when rough weather began. You can include the following key points in your answer. The narrator decided to slow down the ship to protect it from bad weather. He dropped the storm jib and lashed heavy mooring rope across the stern of the ship. They double-lashed everything. They carried their life raft drill, attached lifelines, donned life jackets and oilskins. List the steps taken by the captain. Second part. To check the flooding of the water in the ship. You can include the following key points. The narrator put waterproof hatch which covered the gaping holes. This diverted the water flow to the side. His hand pumps were blocked due to debris, and his one electric pump was short-circuited. He found a hand pump and a spare electric pump. He connected the electric pump to the outpipe and started it. Question 2. Describe the mental condition of the voyagers on 4 and 5 January. You can include the following key points in your answer. On January 4, the voyagers felt relieved as they were continuously pumping out water for the past 36 hours and only a few centimeters of water was left. They had their first meal in 2 days. Mary found some corned beef and cracker biscuits. Later, around 4 p.m., the weather changed as black clouds marched towards them. The wind was now 40 knots and the sea was getting higher. The weather got worse, and by the early morning of January 5, the situation was bad. This gave them mental stress. They were both physically and mentally exhausted. The fear of death lurked in their minds. With a heavy heart, the narrator went to the children's cabin and was touched when they expressed their fear whether they were going to die. They, however, exhibited exemplary courage when they remarked that they did not fear death if they were together. The thought expressed their courage and conviction to fight any eventuality as long as the family was together. Question 3. Describe the shifts in the narration of the events as indicated in the 3 sections of the text. Give a subtitle to each section. The first section, Beginning of the Voyage. The first section was cheerful and full of hope. The family began their planned voyage just like the one done 200 years ago by the famous Captain James Cook. They had perfected their seafaring skills for 16 years. They built a ship, Wave-Walker, professionally, which was a 23-meter long, 30 tons wooden-hulled ship. They celebrated Christmas on the ship despite the bad weather. The second section, The Struggle with the Big Attack. This section changed from cheerful to intense. The family was under great pressure to survive the oncoming waves and bad weather conditions. A giant wave created chaos, and the ship was about to overturn. The narrator was thrown off into the water, and he almost drowned and got injured. Along with 2 hired crewmen, the narrator pumped out the water from the ship for a continuous period of 36 hours. He also tried repairing the parts of the ship. He almost lost his hope and believed they would die. But his children were fearless and courageous enough, which gave him the determination to fight back. The third section, Victory. With the support of his children, the narrator kept trying to save the ship in order to reach the one of the 2 small islands, Lee Amsterdam. They finally reached the destination and got help from the inhabitants of the island. His son called him the best daddy and the best captain. Let's discuss the textbook questions now under the heading Talking about the text. Question 1. What difference did you notice between the reaction of the adults and the children when faced with danger? You can include the following key points in your answer. The adults lose their hope at the end and wait for their fate of death. On the other hand, the children were hopeful and gave the narrator moral support. With the support of his children, Jonathan and Suzanne, he decided to make it to the island at any cost. The children showed maturity. The narrator's son John expressed courage as to how he wasn't afraid to die if they all were together. His daughter Sue made him a card expressing her love and affection towards her parents and wrote a beautiful message. She was injured, still she did not let it become a hurdle for her parents who were trying to save the ship. Question 2. How does the story suggest that optimism helps to endure the direst stress? You can include the following key points in your answer. The story motivates the readers not to panic in the times of distress. The voyagers of Wave-Walker did not lose hope or show any weakness of character at the time when death was staring them in their faces. With indomitable courage and conviction and optimism, they beat the odds against the sea to reach Lee Amsterdam. The narrator's son John told him, "We are not afraid of dying if we can all be together. You and Mummy, Sue and I." This showed the maturity of the children and how they played an important role in motivating the narrator, who had almost lost the hope. Sue, his daughter, who made him a card, showed how she was proud of her parents and did not make a big deal of her injuries, which were in a bad condition. With the struggles and efforts, they finally made it to the destination. Question 3. What lessons do we learn from such hazardous experiences when we are face to face with death? You can include the following key points to write your own answer. The story motivates us to face problems in life with courage and conviction. We are constantly tested, and how we tackle every problem and rise through it is the ultimate lesson. Such hazardous situations teach us how we should maintain calm even in the face of death. We must never lose hope and should be optimistic in life. Question 4. Why do you think people undertake such adventurous expeditions in spite of the risk involved? You can use the following key points to write your own answer. The willingness to accept challenges drives people to take such adventurous expeditions. People like to try different elements of nature, and some people do it as a passion. Surely, people already know of the risks involved in it, but still they do not hesitate to try it out, to experience thrill and adventure.